Hi, this is John O'Brien with California Credence at californiacredence.com, and we're going to be looking at what the use is for this strange things you might be seeing on this shows where you see the import or export offline file. Uses it in the JSON format, and so it's actually very cool. So first of all, let me just show you something here. We have our OGS mix. Let's say your band, you have this mix and you really like it, and this is something that you want to retain. Hopefully you don't lose it. You can store it here as a snapshot for sure, and that's great. But your sidebar here, your slide out, you're going to have to save differently. You would have to save it over here, and I've already done that, where you're going to save it as a what's called you'll be saving it here. You would have to save it, for example, I think I already saved it as training 2023. So in other words, you'd have to save the slide out bar separately, your mute groups, your view groups, all of that you'd have to save separately. You'd have to set all those. But when you export these files, then what happens is see all the OGS settings, the effect settings and everything. When you export these as an offline file, a JSON format, it's actually, when you go to load these things, then it's going to load all of those, your slide out, your mute groups, your view groups, your channel mixes, your OGS mixes, everything. It will bring all those back. So how do we do that? Well, first of all, let me go ahead and show you that, let's say you want to export your training setup. So I'm going to export the file. Now I've already done this, but I'm going to call this training 2 setup, because I've already done a training setup. Okay, so and it's saying where do you want to store these, and I'm going to just say I want to save it to files, and it's on my iPad, and I'm going to put it in my JSON files. So it's going to be training 2 setup, and it's saved on my iPad in files. Okay, so we're done here. Now, just to go ahead and show you, Now, just to go ahead and show you how powerful this is, I'm going to initialize this. Let's go ahead and initialize this mixer. So now your OGSs, they're gone. Your edits, they're gone. Your mixes, nothing's labeled. Let's go ahead and even go further. This slide out is still retained. Let's go ahead and reset that one as well. Reset this thing here, and let's just go reset local settings. Okay, so now what we have here is we have no view groups, no mute groups. Oh, it's locked. Let me go ahead and unlock this. We're going to pause this while I log in so you don't see my password. Alright, so I'm logged in. So then what we're going to do, okay, so our side out now is, there's nothing assigned to it. See, if I go to view groups, there's nothing assigned to that either. No assigned channels. So this is a fully reset UI. So let's say, for example, now I want to set all this up. One of the things I'd first do is go into here, and I just want to do something really cool just to make this an example, because once you reset everything, it also resets the bigger side out, or slide out. So now we're going to have the bigger one here. So you can see that there's nothing there. Nothing on the channels, nothing on the OGSs. Here we go. Let's go ahead and load in that offline file. Oops, excuse me. We're going to load in that JSON file, the offline file. So we're going to import, and we're going to go ahead and grab it off of our local iPad. Okay, so I'm going to come here, and I see the training setup 2. I'm loading that. Okay, believe it or not, how quick is it? It's just that quick. So now what we have is we have all of our things labeled, all of our OGS send set, all of the auxiliaries, all of the EQs and sends, everything that you have here, they're all set Of course you can't see that because your gate, all of your effects. But even on top of that, the JSON file is going to also retain your view groups and your mute groups. So you know, there are two ways to save your setup. One of them is just by doing a save here and save your snapshot, or you can export to a JSON file and then open it offline. I favor this route because it gives me my view groups and my mute groups. So the next thing that you'd want to do is you'd want to go ahead and rename this, and excuse me here, I would just want to rename this and do a save as, and we'll call this training 2 setup. And so what you'll have is you'll have this training 2 setup, you know. Now I have it loaded in there. I could put it in my JSON files and we can just save it here. It doesn't matter, we can just go training 2 setup, and there we are. So anyway, that's how you use the import and export offline file. Super powerful. If you have UI24, it's a great thing to use. All right, take care.